Hola, senors and senoritas. It is your amigo Chris, aka Mr. Ramon 420, and of course I am back on this wonderful Wednesday. Before I start talking about the movie, I do like to say this video can and should be sponsored by PayPal.me, the place where people like you, awesome, wonderful motherfuckers, can support a person like myself, a guy that's getting ready to start up a new program in college where he wants to try to make sure he does 2 reviews or 2 to 3 videos a week while making sure school stays intact. If you want to support the show, you certainly can by clicking on the link at the bottom of the screen for paypal.me. That's paypal.me/MrRamon420. Ooh, you can support me by giving me $1, $5, $10, $15, $20, $50, $100, maybe $150. If you want to do that, that would be awesome as hell. But if you don't, and you're just here to support me, that's totally cool. Alright, I'll be right back, and we'll be talking to you about the interesting review I got coming for you, wonderful people. And welcome back! A day later, with a different shirt, and a different chair, and a couple of other things different. Can you spot them? I bet you can! So, the video I'll be talking about today will not be a movie, it's a mixtape. Now, if you're a fan of the Mr. Ramon 420 show, you know I've done several mixtapes in the past. Never try to steer away from some nastier than others. This one, not as nasty. It's weird. Definitely weird. And actually comes from an incredible director and all-around master of gore effects, Koch. He just does some amazing shit. And he did some interesting shit with this one. He actually entitled it MK Ultra Volume 1. MK Ultra Mix Volume 1. This was actually hand-drawn by him. I think he did 50 of them, but the rest of them are going to be kind of a one-shot thing, and that's all they're going to do. But that doesn't mean you're going to miss out on it. It just means that these were just hand-painted, and he just, like, studio print them, and just make sure they're out and all that stuff. I'm rambling, because I don't know how to describe it. It's fucking weird. It's really fucking weird. I've seen a lot of mixtapes in my life. Not as much as most, Baron. You definitely know you're a mixtapes, that's for sure. This was definitely one of the strangest ones I've ever seen. And in a way, soothing, kind of relaxing in a bit. Now, with this video, there's not going to be a story, there's just going to be segments here and there. It's a good intro. There's always a good intro to these. Sometimes they're more creative than others. This is actually pretty interesting. And it starts off with no rhyme or reason. And as I said, I'm gonna try to do my best to make sure I show you clips from this mixtape that won't get me kicked off of YouTube. Do the best I can. We'll see how it goes. So yeah, as I said, it starts with a good intro. Always needs a good intro. Sorry about the shake. There's no rhyme and reason. And we start off our clips off from Dr. Caligari. Now, if you've never seen Dr. Caligari, think of the cabinet of Dr. Caligari, made back in the 80s, but with a lot more nudity. Best way to say it. And it's fucking weird. Just weird.
She's a flat-out sadist.
A sex Nazi.
How do I make you feel?
My feelings are like filthy prayers.
I'm a juice dog. I'm a twitching skee ball. And you won't let me shiver.
Bon appetit.
She's the grand...
Well, alright. That was Dr. Caligari for us. Then we go on to a few more clips and gets more interesting and more batshit insane. Throughout the rest of the mixtape, it's 3 words I can describe it. Batshit insane. Best way to say, this is what's going on, but I really don't know how to describe what's going on. It's just, it goes from here to there, to there, to there, to there, to there. And we're introduced to a guy who decides to bathe in blood and organs. I think they're animal organs. So here comes the Hepatitis C. Hey, Hep C, bro! Oh, and then we're introduced to some puppet porn with "Let My Puppets Come." Man, those puppets got some big cocks. I mean, massive. Or massive. We see a few more interesting introductions, including a thing called Ask Marilyn, where all these people ask this woman, older woman named Marilyn, and I don't think she quite get the questions. I think she might be hard of hearing, and it just gets like, what the fuck did you say? That wasn't even the question. Oh, and then we're introduced to a video, Rollins and Rose, but it's from a video called "The Search for the Yorkshire Grimace," and I thought I only knew one person that saw it, but I was wrong. Apparently Marcus saw it, and he could sit through it and watch it, and I thought, what? And welcome back to you wonderful, lovely people. So, after we're done watching the clip from the Yorkshire Grimace, we are introduced to a clip from a movie called Love God. Now, I've always wanted to see this. Now, if anyone knows where they can get themselves a copy of Love God, let me know. I'd really like to check it out. From all the times I've heard from people say it's a really interesting film and it never got a great release, well, more people should know about this. We need to see this. This is actually, it always looked interesting, and the trailers looked cool, and it had a nice vibe to it. Then we're introduced to one of the least non-famous things about the internet, Shaye Saint John. Now, if you don't know who Shaye Saint John is, you're probably normal, because a lot of strange people, myself included, have known about Shaye for years. It's a personification of mannequins creating weird situations. It's the best way I could say it. Let me show you.
Shaye, are you still doing that hand thing? I heard you're doing the hand thing today. God, what is that? Shaye, what is it?
Yay! Yay! Good to see you again. Okay, so then we're introduced to a segment that is referred to as Blue Penis. Technically, it's the Penis cartoon using the audio from Blue Velvet, and I think it's probably one of the oldest ones around, because this idea has been done to death, but it was nice to see. Don't you look at me! Don't you fucking look at me! Pabst Blue Ribbon! Now I gotta see Blue Velvet again. I forgot how insane that movie is. Continues with a few more segments, and then we're introduced to actually a couple segments from Cafe Flesh. Now, the same guy that made Dr. Caligari is the same guy that made Cafe Flesh. Cafe Flesh was probably one of my first introductions to porn. What a weird introduction. Basically, the idea is 99% of the world can't get it up. And if they get it up, they feel violently ill. And the people that do get it up perform on stage. And it's well, let me show you the easiest clip I could show you on here without saying, no, 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 you cannot do that. Bad, bad, bad. motherfuckers! Alright, and we're continuing this mixtape. If you're still sticking around, see what else I'm going to be talking about, I appreciate that. If not, that's cool too. Okay, so we then see a couple clips from Bry using his Faust. If you haven't seen this, there's some great segments coming from, including the woman who melts until there's like just ass and boobs of her on the ground. It's so weird. I guess you have to be high to enjoy it, but it was just so cool. Oh, there's some real great punk shit in this. Great music, and just seemed like, you know, this just came from punk vibe somewhere. I don't know where, but it was fucking interesting. Then you meet a interesting person who is, well, he's eating hamburgers from certain places, from Wendy's and Burger King and McDonald's, and he has 3 teeth, 2 up here and 1 down here, and he likes Burger King, and I don't know how to describe it. But speaking of that, we got to see a clip from a great studio group, the kids at Whitney High. Man, if you haven't heard their shit, you really should, because man, they fucking rock. Speaking of which, who's got a new car?
I got a new car, bright and shiny like a star. I got a new car in my garage.
And good to see all the wonderful people again. Oh, so we continue a few more things, including a clip from a classic Tim Ritter film where this dude's really pissed off with this old lady, and he's fed up, so he hits her with a hammer several times, like, sure, I got the clock, Mom. And she's fobbing around. No, can't talk. My tongue is playing all over the place. Oh, I love that. Oh, that's fucking great. There's also a few segments with a dead rabbit puppet theater, and they're flopping around, they're lollygagging, and they're having a good time. It's all good stuff. There's a clip from an alien baby movie. You don't know what it's about. It's just weird. Some more puppetry here and there. Oh, there's a couple of clips from Body Melt. Man, if you want to check out some classic gore down under, Body Melt's the thing for you to enjoy. There's some insane and some shitty videos that come along for the ride. Oh, there's a clip from Criminally Insane, aka Fat Ethel Part 1. Sorry, Crazy Fat Ethel Part 1. It's interesting. I know this is underground, it's supposed to be great. I was like, oh man, I'm glad I never bought that one. Jesus Christ. Oh, we come across an instrument of great singing, man by the name of Santa Gold. And I actually found out about this last year when Jim Van Meber made a video, I guess, doing tribute to him. He was in a wrestling ring, and you know, he's got wrestlers all around him, and he's, you know, mimicking to Santa Gold, and it's really good. And I thought, oh, okay, I'm you know, I was wondering where that came from, and I looked online, and it's like, oh, that's what it is. And to my surprise, Marcus put that in his video. Now, I could show you the classic original, and that would be interesting, but I want to show you Jim's version. Jim?
Is everybody ready for wrestling? I got yours. I got bracelets for your arms. Money back guarantee. 5-year warranty. Santa go! Go! Santa go! Santa go!
Ah, thank you, Jim. I appreciate that. All right, so that was the last clip on this little journey of ours. There's a couple more things. Well, not really. There's one. Is basically a few segments of a film called Erotic Ghost Story. It was a Category 3 Chinese film back in the 1990s, it was really interesting. You basically a female fuckmaster and a male fuckmaster trying to compete to see who was the best of the best, and they both got together and they 69 and they spinned and they helicoptered and did all the stuff, and I think that the guy won because he spewed all over. I mean, all over the trees in the forest, and la la la, spew sweeps you. How do you do, madam? Woo! And it just continued from there. But basically, that was about it. And I gotta say, I really enjoyed it. There's some, it's as a matter of fact, it's actually at some points it's nice, relaxing, and enjoyment viewing pleasure for you to check out. It's weird, like art house, 1980s art house underground, weird. Just everything was just. It's supposed to mean something, and sometimes it didn't. It just was weird editing, and that's how it is. But it wasn't sick, nasty, and a little perverted, but that's okay. Nothing too serious. But there was no scat, there was no water sports, nothing to really do with vomit. A little bit here and there, but that's okay. You go with that. You take the good, take the bad, take the both. There you have a mixtape right there. Just a mixtape. Yeah. It was. There were some really great parts and some okay parts, but that's what you get with the mixtape. This was interesting, and I gotta say, Marcus, you found some amazing footage in your tapes that you've had over the years. Great finds. Seriously, incredible stuff. I definitely would recommend you guys checking it out. This isn't something you don't want to hide from Grandma. Grandma might be interesting. Grandma might have seen some of the stuff, when she was a party girl, and your dad, your grandpa was a party boy back in New York in the good old days. You never knew what grandpa and grandma did. They might have had a fun time. It's like, oh, I remember Bill. That's Bill. You remember him? He used to do this thing with that. No, we won't get into that. But it was really interesting. One big problem, it's a little too long. And I think I said it with the Conflict Boulevard films. Keep it 80, 90 minutes. More than that, you feel like you're losing the audience. As much good stuff you can, you're going to find some, like, that's going to be okay. But all around, it's really interesting. And Marcus is actually still selling copies. The best way to do that is I will give you his PayPal address. Or if you're friends with him on Facebook, you can let him know, but also send him money. It's $23 for the U.S., shipped throughout the U.S., and $35 to ship throughout the rest of the world, because post office sucks. They just sucks. Or any of them, they just all stink. Expensive bastards. But yeah, big thanks to Marcus Koch for giving me the opportunity to review this, and big thanks to you guys for letting me talk to you about this. It means a lot. I may be giving you guys some enjoyment out in your life by watching what I talk about, but you guys bring me so much more enjoyment that it means the world to me. And sorry that it came out on Thursday instead of Wednesday. This may be a problem come school, because I have school on Tuesday night from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. And I don't know if I'll have the energy to review it. Just like, I may do them on Wednesday nights. But yeah, so we'll see. All right, guys. Of course, I will give you a link, the email, the PayPal address to where you can, purchase your copy, because you really should get it. If you're not a big fan of mixtapes, this is one you should definitely look for. If you're into night flight footage, this is better than most. Guys, I love you all. You're fucking amazing. Tune in next week. We'll have 2 more films to talk to you about. I start school next week. Yay! So until next time, Rate, comment, subscribe, and don't drink the Kool-Aid. See ya.